What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Once again, we're back for career mode, episode number 37 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. This is the second episode of season 3, and yeah, we have a bit of a weird and wacky calendar going on. I don't know if you saw it. Monaco Grand Prix was the opening round of this season, and now we head to Baku. I just want to start off with a bit of carnage, and well, it definitely didn't disappoint in that first episode. It was a roller coaster of emotions. Go check it out if you haven't seen it already. But yeah, we head into this one with a lot of ground to make up after the big DNF. So we need points. We need big points. This is the season I want to be winning the drivers. I want to be winning the constructors. And Mark Webber was up there before my DNF. Somehow he fell back down, and yeah, we're way behind both championships right now. So we have a lot of work to do. I do believe the failed weight reduction upgrade that was supposed to go on for last race is going to go on in time for this one. So we have that to look forward to. I believe it's an ultimate one as well. Speaking of ultimate upgrades, that looks like it's going to be an ultimate tyre wear upgrade going on for the British Grand Prix. I don't think I'm going to risk it with rushing the upgrades. I'm going to play it safe. It's only, what, 1 or 2 races we have to wait to get there. And it's only a 7% failure chance, so no risks being taken on this side. And there we go. There's the ultimate weight reduction upgrade going on the car. And that is going to make a significant difference in the handling, in the performance of this car. It's the best upgrade you can possibly put on your car in this game. So surely it's got to count for something. If you guys are excited for career mode being back, please leave a like, subscribe. I apologize about the break between last episode and this one. That won't be happening again. And you know, we're gonna rattle through this season now. The only thing that might slow me down is I have to put new components in my PC. I'm a bit of a noob, but after that, we're Gucci. For a normal person, I think putting together a PC would only take a couple of hours, but for me, it's probably like a 2-day job, 3-day job. I don't know. You're listening to the person who took about 2 weeks to build their sim rig. So don't hold high hopes for me, guys. I'm going to do my best. I should be all right. But yeah, I'm excited, believe it or not, to get back into career mode and get back to winning ways. It's been a long drought of no championships, but you know, we're ready to turn the wick up, and that starts here in Azerbaijan. Weber looking pretty solid, 5/10 away, P8. We're pretty much there with him as well. I was a little bit uncertain as to what direction to go with in setup this time. As you saw, the wings are like 5.8 wings, which is rather unstable. I'm not going to play around with that too much. Low wings is pretty much key or king on this game. But one thing I am playing around with is the tyre pressures, as we are getting absolutely dunked on by Charles Leclerc in the Red Bull. We got shafted with the new tyre selection. I didn't change from the default, and so for this qualifying session, it's giving me 2 sets of softs, 1 medium and 1 hard. So to get through to Q3, we have to use just 2 sets of softs, which is not ideal. Webber is up there at the moment. We set a banker time on a used set of softs. That's why we were getting dunked on by Charles Leclerc. We just had no pace, and I went the wrong direction with tyre pressures. I learned the hard way that high rear tyre pressures is actually the way to go if you're running with a upgraded career mode car. It is the opposite is actually true if you're running in league racing. You want to run low rear pressures, as you guys have kind of cottoned onto with my videos. I do tend to show my setups, but yeah, I apparently someone high up in Codemaster told either myself or Alex that yeah, higher tire pressures is something that's been worked into the game to look after people with tire temp issues. So thanks Codemasters, they actually finally addressed it, but yeah, they should have made that knowledge a bit more public so that us career mode players could not suffer so much. But there we go. We pump up the tyre pressures and we pump up the performance. P5 in this qualifying session. Heading into Q3 with quite a bit of confidence. We are up there with Mark Webber. And, you know, we're up there with the big boys in this season of career mode, despite not quite being there in the way of upgrades. McLaren have pooed the bed this round. Alonso knocked out in Q1. Robert Schwartzman knocked out in Q2. And they have the equal best car.
Let's go.
I don't really know what's going on there. But McLaren not getting their laps in, and they're on the back foot heading into this race, which is, well, great for us, but, you know, if you're going to start at the back at any track, this is probably the one. This is one of the easier ones to overtake, but McLaren doesn't have the greatest straight line speed in the world, so it was just interesting to see how they get on. Regardless, we are qualifying well. One difference I've made this round, which I don't tend to do because I'm usually a little bit lazy, is I tend to go straight out to a flying lap, or I'll fast forward time in the session. Throughout Q1, Q2, Q3, I haven't done any fast forwarding, and as you guys know, this is a glitch from like many years now. If you fast forward, the AI set unrealistic times, and I actually kind of tested it here in Q3 just to make sure it wasn't crazy, so I restarted it. But the fast forward time that they did was 1 second faster compared to the time that they do in this session that you're seeing now. So it's quite ridiculous, but we've given ourselves the best chance, the best way to perform, and we have performed indeed. P2 on the grid for this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Unfortunately, Mark Webber not quite getting the lap in that he wanted to right at the death there. It's P6 for him, but a remarkable uptake in performance from us there. We've qualified on the front row for the first time maybe ever on this game. So, yeah, I'm not terrible at qualifying after all. I've just been shafting myself by enabling the qualifying glitch to affect me every episode. So, there we go, lads. It's P2, the start of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and I'm absolutely hyped because we've got ourselves a good race car as well. We've got low downforce. It will be quite hard to be overtaken in the race, even with DRS. So if we can get into the lead, we'll be laughing. Wish me luck.
A warm welcome to you all at home for today's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, a race that in its short history has already proven no stranger to drama, and where a fourth row start is just about as likely to give you a podium as pole position, with Lance Stroll and Sergio Perez finishing third from there in 2017 and 2018 respectively. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku city circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Benjamin completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Magnussen, Sainz, Max Verstappen and Webber, Ocon, Norris, Perez and Pierre Gasly.
All right, here we go for the race. No real penalties to speak of, but we do still have some of the front runners down the order. The likes of Schwartzman and Fernando Alonso. Lando Norris is your championship leader, as you can see on screen there, with Carlito in P2, Schwartzman P3. So this is a big chance for us to swindle some big points off the front runners in this round. Even if Charles Leclerc wins this race today, if I can get P2, I'd be absolutely ecstatic with that, and we can get our season off on the right foot. So fingers crossed there's no engine dramas today. That has been plaguing us quite a bit in career modes over the last couple of years, but we want player failures because AI have failures too, and the days when things do go well just makes it that little bit more satisfying. So we head into the race now with a strategy of medium compound tyres. Charles Leclerc is actually starting on the hards, as are quite a few people inside the top 10. So this is our big chance to get ourselves some track position and park the hell in front of that Red Bull. So we'll see what we can do in this race. I think we're going to take some fuel out as well. Our fuel consumption is always better than what the game says. So you want to light a car, especially if a safety car rears its beautiful head in these races. Hopefully nice and timely for us as well. We could go to the heart and get to the end, even if a safety car comes out on lap 1, potentially with tyre upgrades. So either way, safety car comes out, we should be sorted. And there's always a high chance of safety car around this place. It needs absolutely no introduction, does the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We're setting off for the formation lap now. Speaking of the difficulties of this place, I find this place harder to keep off the walls than Monaco. I find it harder to get into a rhythm around here. Monaco is, in my opinion, easy, because it's so easy to get in the flow. But this place catches me out a lot, especially in practice when I push those limits. Okay, here we go. Ready for this race, guys. I'm excited for this one. Hopefully, we can get off to a good start and shoot our way into the lead of this race. It is going to be us versus Red Bull off the line in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and thankfully, it's a very short run into turn 1. 5 red lights! And we are away for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Even on the hard compound tyres, Charles Leclerc gets away like an absolute rocket. Heading down into turn 1, fighting off our pole sitter from Brazil. It's Kevin Magnussen in the Alpine. Alpine are so quick at this current stage of the career mode. You can never quite believe the performance index that you see at the start of the episode. The performance that tells you on paper where the AI are in terms of performance. It says we're the 4th or 5th best car, but with this ultimate weight reduction upgrade, it's really thrusted us up to the front, and even Webber was showing that in his qualifying runs. Either way, we are away in this Grand Prix, and we are making absolute daylight to the rest of the field. Even on this first lap, you can see we're pulling away from Kevin Magnussen. The gap is over 2 seconds. That said, Magnussen and Verstappen were battling quite hard in the opening sector of this race, but we're absolutely going to take it. DRS is, well, not that powerful on this game, but Slipstream is definitely a consideration as well, especially at this kind of track. And if you can break away from DRS, you see in F1 Esports, those DRS trains, if you can break away from them, then you are absolutely laughing. And we have Charles Leclerc as the ultimate horse and carriage to drag us along in this race. But to be honest, I think I've got the pace on him. I think I've got the measure on Charles Leclerc. He's a little bit quicker through the middle sector of the lap, but on the straights with our 5-8 wings, and I repeat, 5-8 wings, we are an absolute rocket ship in a straight line. Not even using overtake here. We did use it a bit down the first half of the straight. We don't want to waste too much of our battery. We're under 50%. Up the inside and into the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix we go for the first time in this season. Lovely stuff. Lead by 4/10. Let's hopefully pull away, but also not take too much life out of the tyres, because if we do so, then this guy is going to be all over us like flies on a cake. Hello. Leclerc having a little look up into turn 3 there. We're not going to give him the space. Absolutely not. We're not going to just give up all that hard work we worked hard for, just to let him go through. So we're going to try and pull away if we can, but he's got DRS now, and that is a little bit depressing. That Red Bull, as you know from real life, is very quick in a straight line, and if anything, that attack from Leclerc has actually hurt him more than it's benefited him, because now he's outside of a second. He's not going to get DRS here on this straight. Verstappen moves up into P3 in this race, and now the Red Bulls can work together to try and beat me in this Grand Prix.
Okay, stand by. We see a problem our end, and we're looking into it.
Or maybe we'll just beat ourselves. It looks like we have another reliability issue rearing its ugly head in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Only the race after Monaco. We are leading this race. Don't tell me.
It looks like we're experiencing an ERS software glitch.
Oh, thank God. We can put up with an ERS software glitch. Oh my word, we are still in the Grand Prix, we are still alive, but we're not going to have any use of overtake. I don't even know what lock does. Does that mean we're not deploying at all? Does it mean we're not harvesting? Is the ERS effectively like off now? I don't know what that means, but Leclerc was 1.2, 1.3 seconds away. ERS is back now, so we're going to go straight back up into overtake to try and keep that Red Bull away. But they're back within 1 second again, which is rather unfortunate. Even with our straight line speed advantage, there's no substitute for that electric power. Anyway, I was hoping to pull away, but that untimely issue has brought the Red Bulls back in the fight, and Leclerc leads the Grand Prix once again. So that's unfortunate. We're getting towards the end of this medium stint. If anything, I do want to stretch the mediums to like lap 16, lap 17 if I want to use the soft compound tyres to get to the end of the Grand Prix. That's something we could do as a viable strategy to beat the Red Bulls today. I don't imagine many other people are going to use the two softer compounds, so we could use that to our advantage. We fly past Leclerc again around the outside. It's much harder for me to overtake him than what it is him to overtake me as we make contact with the wall. We just scraped the wall on the right-hand side of that curb. We dipped over the bad side of the curb, which kind of rotated the car a little bit, and we also brushed that wall. I swear down we touched that wall. But thankfully, no damage. No floor damage, no side pod damage. I think it might have been tyre. And now we have a safety car that has been deployed in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and that is a big reprieve for us. Because like I said, if we can box at any point in this race and probably go to the end on the hard compound tyres. So in we go. I'm in. Is Schwartzman? No, Schwartzman's carried on for another lap. It is Magnussen who's come in. But unfortunately, Webber has come in as well from a top 5 scenario. We are double stacking here at Marduk Motorsport. We are going to lose a spot to Magnussen because the left rear was a little bit slow getting on. And that only... Oh my god, that only compounds the problem as we have a bit of a embarrassing moment leaving the pit lane. I've turned on the broadcast pit stops, and I wasn't expecting the game to dump me back in control of my car right when you're meant to be full left lock. And yeah, that could have been very costly, but thankfully we're okay. Turned on broadcast safety car as well. I think it just looks nice to see some replay camera action for a change. Some angles that you don't necessarily get in the replay cameras. So let me know if you like them. But I need to have my wits about me going forward. But anyway, we've taken the stop and we're P9. That's actually not a bad play to get us to the end of the Grand Prix. Leclerc, Verstappen, Schwartzman, Sainz, Norris, Ticktum, Zhou all need to stop again. Magnussen is your effective leader of this Grand Prix. Ticktum is in P6. That is nuts. So, we're on the hard compound tyres. We do have the flexibility. If another safety car comes out again, we could go to softs to finish off this race. But, you know, we have the flexibility. We've used both sets of compounds, and we can go to the end. We effectively have a pit stops lead over the front runners. Once they do come in, they're going to have to pit on the green flag running, I imagine, and overtake a lot of cars. So I think this race is very much in our hands. We have to beat Magnussen to turn 1 to take the effective lead of this Grand Prix. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, and we're raring to go. I want to try and catch them napping a little bit. We get a good reaction, and we are underway for this Azerbaijan Grand Prix once again, straight up the inside of K-Mag into turn 1, and we are the effective leader of this race. P8 now, and these guys ahead are on they're all on old hard compound tyres that have already done 12 laps. I don't imagine they're going to be carrying on much longer to get to their medium stint. If anything, they maybe could have stretched mediums to get to the end, straight up the inside of Guan Yu Zhou, and that is a top 7.
Nice move, good job.
Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. Give the wall a bit of a brush there. No harm done. We can brush it up against the wall a couple of times. We're running deep a little bit into that left-right chicane, and still managing to put the pressure on Ticktum. You know what? I'm really surprised, actually, how good the pace on the hards is. It feels like it's a really good tyre. I feel miles faster than not only the Alphas, but the Ferraris and the Red Bulls as well. They're not really getting away in this race. I was going to steer clear of this compound. I thought it was crap. But this hard feels amazing, even on the first lap when, you know, it's a little bit cold and you'd expect the performance to not quite be there. It's the kind of tyre that you need to be patient with, and eventually it comes good at the end, but it's pretty good right from get-go, and we're straight up into P6. with only the Ferraris and the Red Bulls to overtake now in this race. Actually, there's a McLaren in the way. I can't count. Ferraris, Red Bulls, and a McLaren, which we are quickly making ground on. Norris is next, our championship leader, and he's got no pace. He's got no answer to us. Is he trying to conserve to get to a point where he can go on softs to get to the end? That's the only way I can see these guys salvaging this race now, because mediums can easily get to the end of the Grand Prix from here. But if they stop now, look at that traffic that's, you know, about 5 seconds back from us. That is a nasty train to be emerging into, and I think a good few of those back markers have stopped already. So the leaders are in a world of trouble here, and we want to make quick work of them just in case there is another safety car or whatever carnage may ensue. We just want to get ourselves some good track position. I think Magnussen? Someone has made a little mistake there in the middle sector, and it is an Alpine. It's K-Mag. So our nearest threat to us in this race is now out of the Grand Prix. That is absolutely unbelievable. So we're the lone wolf in this race now, guys. We are absolutely flying. I think Mark Webber might now be the next closest rival who has made us stop. But he's a mile back. He's held up by the other Alfa Romeo. One of the Ferraris into the lane, as is Max Verstappen. Round the outside we go on Lando Norris, running a little bit deep, but we get the move done. And we are now on the podium in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Here's the replay with our lovely camouflaging livery. Lando just couldn't see us coming. He blocked the inside. Had to go around the outside to avoid an aeroplane crash there. Nice defense from Lando. We used the fresher tyres to our advantage, and that is job done. P3 in this Grand Prix. 11 to go. The gap to Leclerc is 3.8 seconds. And now we can actually chill a little bit, but this is me. I don't want to chill. I want to close up to these guys as much as I can. Max Verstappen is out of the Grand Prix, who just stopped on the last lap. And now we have another safety car in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Alonso is out of the Grand Prix too. So the other two big rivals are out in this Grand Prix too. What is happening? Oh, wow. I just can't believe my eyes. This is the incident with K-Mag. Didn't hit the wall. Looks like it's just an engine failure. And that's really annoying for everyone else on the field who has to drive around him. Very lucky to not have another separate big crash out of that. And wow, look at that. That's the spot where, I don't know if you remember, F1 2017 career mode, Alonso retired in the McLaren Honda. And then I retired there as well in the very same race. Good times. Anyway, not good times for Max Verstappen, who tries to go around the outside of Yuki Tsunoda at the downhill left-hander. And he's taken about 4 or 5, maybe 6 cars with him, including Alonso. Carlos Sainz is in there. Sebastian Vettel, Oscar Piastri. Some big-name drivers are now out of this Grand Prix. And Sainz actually walks away from that somehow. Here's the onboard from Alonso, who just drives into Vettel. I mean, it's kind of an easy mistake to make. You see everyone ghosted ahead, you think you're good, and then nope. Vettel yeets you into the Shadow Realm. But that's on Max. I mean, he's initiated the no team orders within the Red Bull family, and now he's been bitten hard. You don't try and go around the outside there. It's just never going to work. Pierre Gasly needs to buy himself a lotto ticket or two, because that is a very lucky escape. Anyway, we are carrying on. We've driven past the safety car. It wasn't officially out on the track yet, so I didn't need to slow down for it. I wanted to buy myself some time to make a decision as to whether I wanted to make a pit stop in the end, and no, I didn't want to. So we're going to stick it out on the hard compound tyres. There's currently about 8 laps remaining in this race, and as you can see, it is a Marduk Motorsport 1-2 right now in this Grand Prix. So we're looking pretty good at this stage. Mick Schumacher has a 5-second penalty. Leclerc has stopped. So that's the only downside to this safety car. It brings him back into the game. But I've got my teammate now as buffer to him and the cars behind. The Mercedes are going to be decently quick. Schwartzman as well. Absolutely can't write him off, the lone McLaren remaining in this Grand Prix. The safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, so we need to be ready. We need to make sure the tyres have a little bit of temperature in them.
Okay, the safety car's coming in this lap. We'll be pacing the field in Sector 3. Make sure to respect the delta until the safety car's into the pit lane.
And one downside to this scenario is we are massively overfueled with this car, so we're going to be running a bit heavy for the remainder of this race. Looks like I didn't take enough fuel out of the car, but we are ready and raring to go for the final 7 laps on this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We're underway for green flag running, and we head into turn 1. The tyres are a little bit cold. We run wide a little bit. Don't get on the power quite as early as I like to. Webber's going up the inside into turn 2. No team orders here. He's going for the glory himself. Gets a terrible run out of turn 2, and he's now weak to Charles Leclerc, who's on the medium compound tyres. So absolutely no teamwork here from the Marduk Motorsport boys. And Webber is now going to be overtaken by Leclerc into turn 4. Turn 3, rather. So Leclerc is through for P2, and my buffer, my wingman, my rear gunner, who I thought was going to help me out in this race, has just done the opposite. He's invited, open invitation to Charles Leclerc to have P2 and a free run at us. Leclerc up the inside, heading into this left-hander. We are not going to give him the space there. Absolutely not. Didn't even have a car alongside. Or maybe on the replay, this could be pretty damaging scenes for us. Pretty incriminating, but no, I think that was marginal. That was on the edge. Can't do that every lap. But I had to get pretty punchy there because Charles Leclerc has absolutely taken me by surprise here with his very quick medium compound tyres. We defend the inside into here, and we slow ourselves both up. An absolute treat. I suppose it doesn't matter. We're fighting for P1. There's no one in front of us who's getting away, so we might as well squabble. I'm showing him that I mean business today. I want to win this race. I need to win this race to make up the points, the lost points we had in Monaco. Schwartzman with a massive dive bomb on my teammate, and he now is into P3. Webber's down to P5 because Perez has got him as well on the hard compound tyres. Webber has absolutely pooed the bed in this race. We could have had a 1-2, but no. We have Leclerc leading. We undercut, and we get back into the lead, heading into the castle section. What an unbelievable cutback from us there. We realised the straight line speed wasn't great. He's using all his battery to dive up the inside. I broke early and went for the cutback, and oh my word, did it work well. That is unbelievable. Here's the replay. Look at the gap between the two of us. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing in it with that switchback on Leclerc. That is as clean as it gets. And we have retaken the lead of this race once again. Leclerc gets another golden run out of here. And this time I have to leave him the space. Doesn't go for it, thankfully. But he's going to go... Oh, no! We're out to the Grand Prix! Leclerc has gone round the outside. And there is a pile-up for the race leaders. Safety car has been deployed in the dying laps of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Leclerc has gone for an absolutely silly move, like his Red Bull teammate. I didn't even know he had a car alongside. That's not an overtaking part of the circuit. It's a closing gap. And in the braking zone, right at the last minute, he's wedged his nose in there. And when he's done so, he's turned left. That's pretty much a takeout in this race. You don't go for that gap, man. I saw him. I knew that he was slightly on my right-hand side, but I just thought he'd back out of it. It was in the braking zone where he committed too deep. And by that point, it was game over. There was nothing we could do there. The gap closes, and that is game over in this race. In fact, it might not be. My teammate is out of the Grand Prix. Somehow, we still have our wheels attached. As does Charles Leclerc. I thought Leclerc was gone, in all honesty. My teammate, who's the innocent bystander, is out of this race. We're down to 13 runners by virtue of Webber and Schumacher retiring. There's probably more to come as well. There might be some disqualifications. We nearly hit the barrier on the way into the pit lane. But, yeah, what a Grand Prix. What a yo-yo roller coaster Grand Prix we have here. In the box seat to win the race. My teammate decides not to be a teammate anymore. And then Leclerc, we got really punchy with him, and then you saw the crash. And now we have to fight back in these dying laps. There's going to be I don't know how many laps remaining under green flag running. Hopefully it's a very short safety car period, but it looks like it's going to be a maximum of 4 laps. Probably more likely 3. So 2 or 3 laps worth of green flag running to see us home to the end of this race, and we're currently in P10. Thankfully, Ocon in the Alpine has a 5-second penalty, so that should be a given. But yeah, this is the scenario for the dying laps of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We do have 3 laps to try and win this race. It's going to be oh so tough. We are on soft compound tyres. Everyone else is on mediums or on hards. Away we go, and we immediately put Nicholas Latifi in the mud. We get up the inside of Perez into turn 1 as well. That is a massive scalp. Next up is Joe Gasly. Tictum's up there in the mix. I think Tictum's on the podium right now. George Russell in the Haas and P5. Yeah, there's a lot of people in backmarket teams who are going to get some big spoils today. Only 13 runners in the Grand Prix, and we're going up the inside of one of them. Make that P7. Gasly has also lost his wing, or a bit of his wing, on the back of George Russell, I believe. Still the chameleon livery, fooling everyone. You don't know if it's a Marduk Motorsport car coming up your inside, or whether it's an AlphaTauri. It's, you know, it could be anyone. It could be a Mercedes. You know, if you just glance in the mirrors, it's great. So yeah, Leclerc is the man who absolutely hates me today, and if I'm camouflaged, then he doesn't know who I am. So it's great. Anyway, we get the inside of George Russell, straight line speed, pretty OP there, making that to good effect. Now Norris and Tictum are fighting away for the final spot on the podium. I can't believe Tictum, a rookie in F1, in pretty much a backmarket team, is on the podium right now, but Norris is going to ruin his day as we head into turn 3. I absolutely nailed that apex and the exit especially, and we overtake Tictum like he's not even moving. Norris is next. He's on the mediums. These guys on mediums should still have good pace towards the back end of this race, but they're not quite going to have the pace of a fresh soft compound tyres. So let's quickly get Norris in the mud because we need to catch up to the next group of cars. But there's only 1.5 laps remaining. We should be able to get Norris. Ocon is going to fall behind us with the penalty, and then that just leaves Schwartzman, who is going to win this race, who at one stage was pretty much at the back himself. So it's been a crazy Grand Prix. This is just what Baku does, doesn't it? It's an incredible racetrack. Throws up the most unpredictable results at times, and we've still got racing remaining in this one. Up to P3 in the penultimate lap, and that should be the Grand Prix. We are actually losing a bit of time to Ocon on this last lap, and Schwartzman as well. The AI really turning up the wick on this last lap. Schwartzman sets the fastest up in the Grand Prix, but we recover to get P2.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you've pulled through. Thank you very much.
Not ideal. Crash with Leclerc ruined it, but we fought back really well.
It's never an easy race here in Azerbaijan. There's drama around every corner, but they've come through to take a brilliant victory here today. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Taking care of the car was absolutely vital today. It's been obvious all weekend that the pace was there, but look at the attrition rate we've had. They would have been very concerned about any minor anomaly towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race from McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt, they'll be celebrating tonight.
Let me know what you guys think of that incident with Leclerc. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. It could be perceived one of 2 ways. A bit like the Hamilton-Verstappen incident in Brazil, turn 2. But yeah, in my opinion, he wasn't really alongside. It was the outside line. It was a closing gap, and it's just a super low percentage play. And you've got, if you don't hit that inside wall on the approach to the corner, then on the exit of the corner, like you've got that right-hand barrier, which can grab you as well, which grabbed Max Verstappen in that race. So it's not really an overtaking corner unless you have the inside. And if you're on the outside, you absolutely have to back out. Otherwise, you risk DNFing. But lucky that both myself and Leclerc didn't DNF in that race. Leclerc essentially pretty much DNF because he got P12. So a bit of karma there, in my opinion. But again, guys, let me know what you thought. Who was at fault there? From my position, it's hard to do anything really. I can't disappear. That's my opinion. But who knows? I could be in the wrong. P5 in the driver's standings. Solid little race there for us. Get us a little bit back in the fight by virtue of everyone kind of having their own separate incidents in that one. Unfortunate for Webber as well. Webber DNFing in that one is not great for the constructors. That could have been a good haul of points for us today, which we would have really needed in the constructors. But I guess from here on out, we need lots of races on the podium. Both of us. We need to be in the top 5. I think every single race, we need to pick up a couple of wins. That certainly wouldn't hurt. But it's a shortened calendar, 16 races, and when you do have a DNF, like both of us at the team have had now, it really hurts. So let's fight back, and let's continue to pile on the upgrades. We're not too far away now in terms of front-running pace. We're lacking a couple of tenths. We were able to bridge the gap today with pretty good driving and especially a good setup, which really lent itself well to overtaking. So we're not going to be lucky everywhere. We need to make this form a bit more consistent. So we'll see what we can do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time for... I don't even know what's next. It's a surprise. Until then, see ya.